greasy black peel. You're a wild one. You got termites in your smile. You have all to the sweetness of a seasick crocodile. Mr. Grinch, you're a flower. Friends you don't have no. I wouldn't touch you with a 39 and a half foot pole. You're a monster. Your heart's an empty hole. You got garlic in your soul. You got garlic in your soul. Autumn smiles, homemade. I turn up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Weekly Wine Comic Time. I'm your host Niko.
And I'm Christine.
And this is episode 19, and thank you for everybody that's checking out our show once again or for the first time. We just wanted to quickly mention our apologies for the lateness of this episode. I know it's a couple days late from when you guys normally are used to hearing it on Mondays. But, you know, sometimes life happens, and we've had some shit going on behind the scenes that we're not going to get into, but basically it just kind of has caused us to
be a couple days late.
Yeah, fall out of schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, the shows are still going to come out and all that as expected. It's just
we're a couple days late for this one.
Yeah, we're just playing catch up right now, essentially. And if my voice sounds a little off too, I'm also getting over a cold. A cold. But yeah,
it's been a weird week.
Yeah, it's just been an off week, so that's why the fact this is coming out still is cool that we kind of still care enough to do it. So it's it's,
we could have just said fuck it.
Yeah, but no, we care about you, the listeners,
even if there's two.
Our wines of the night here, though, we got Yellowtail Chardonnay. I think this is the first time we've drank this on the show. We're no stranger to the Yellowtail brand. This is Australian wines, and it looks like a bunch of them were on sale today in the LCBO. So I also wanted to pair it up with our dinner tonight. We had a shrimp Alfredo, I guess linguine, and Chardonnay goes well with that, I've been told, with Alfredos. So we picked that.
Google told me so.
Yeah, this didn't go that well with that, though, I would say.
I made it spicy, and I don't think it agreed with the spiciness of it.
And then this Chardonnay is kind of a stronger Chardonnay as well, I found. So, yeah, it didn't go that well with that. So don't pair this wine with that, I would say, if that's if you're into pairing meals with stuff. But maybe maybe a lighter Chardonnay, or Chardonnays are usually a little bit more bitter anyways, right?
Yeah,
but this
they're
felt
not super sweet.
This felt particularly.
I just don't think it agreed with the spiciness
with the
of
food.
Our meal.
Okay. And then the next one up here is we're also enjoying a Cabernet Sauvignon, also from Yellowtail. Also on sale here. So if you're from Canada, the LCBO is having a sale on all Yellowtail wines. I like their wines. They're not bad. They're good for the price, and the Shiraz is probably a favorite of ours as well.
Shiraz and the Merlot.
Yeah, the Merlot one's
and they're
good
big, bold red.
And it came with a free attachment, this bottle here.
I get to live my life doodling and drinking on wine glasses.
Yeah, it came with a marker that you can draw on wine glasses with.
How did they know I needed this in my
life? I don't know. But, we're in the... I guess we're starting off and then being in the middle of the Christmas season here, and with the Christmas,
keep going all the Christmas music too.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wanted to mention that. Stay tuned though, because the Late Night Chat Network, our SoundCloud page, where we do put this podcast and all the other ones we do, the other comic podcasts, I do Trade Talk as well as the Late Night Chat with JT and Niko show. Because we might mention the fact that we might be taking a week off at some point in terms of the content being put up for the holidays.
Yeah, to take a breather for the holidays and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't have dates as of yet for you guys, but stay tuned. There may be a week where we choose not to put up any new content. We might we have some ideas. We might have some stuff we've pre-recorded, whether it be this show or something else that we might put up during that time, but just as a kind of a little bit of time to kind of recoup and enjoy time with our families, and basically, think towards maybe the new year and what we're going to do with our content on the channel. We might take a week off around that time. Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll let you guys know about that. Okay, so I'm also starting off here with the comics today that we'll be talking about. We both got 6 that we'll be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
for you guys. It's kind of a mixture of stuff that came out this past week because we were late, and also I think a couple of stragglers from the week before as well too, because we're still trying to catch up on some of the releases. Like I said, it'll be like that for the next couple of weeks, but basically, the first up here is Sharkey, the Bounty Hunter, number 6. This is by Mark Miller and Simone Bianchi on art. We've talked about this book on the show before. We kind of pick up all the Mark Miller books that he does through Image currently. We enjoy his miniseries. I think that I'll talk about Mark Miller for a second here before I rate the book. I think that the things that he does, it's kind of like an action movie, like a popcorn flick kind of thing. Like he kind of goes in, goes out, gives you an entertaining read with usually some of the best artists in the biz now.
I know.
He's got and they read very much like movie pitches, a lot of them, because let's face it, a lot of them kind of are.
That's what they're doing
now
for Netflix,
right? I mean, he signed the thing with Netflix. He's got the fucking Netflix logo on the back of all of his actual single issues now, and Mark Miller in the past has sold a lot of stuff of his ideas to movies as well, and since then, but I like what he does, though. I don't mean to diminish it.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't mean to diminish it, and not everything hits the same, and that's why I kind of wanted to go into talk about that before I rated the book. Because this one for me, I think, was one of his weaker miniseries. I didn't love this one as much as I loved some of the other ones he's been doing. And recently, like Magic Order, or the other one that we just talked about, what the hell, Space Bandits, which we loved. This was good. It was okay. I mean, I like the idea of bounty hunters in space together, kind of like a younger one and an older one, like an apprentice. I mean, it kind of reminds you a little bit. I guess it's a little different than the Mandalorian. That's kind of like the lone wolf and cub type thing going on. It's a bit different, but you got like a mentor-mentee kind of thing going on, a little shit disturbing kid, and fucking a guy who can't really stand him. I know a lot of people compared this character, this Sharkey, the bounty hunter, to almost like a Lobo of sorts too from the DC universe.
I'm not overly familiar with him.
Right, but I mean, he rides around on a motorcycle, and he's kind of like, he's
badass lone wolf
exactly,
type of...
exactly.
I don't need no one.
But, so I like the idea of the characters and the setting and everything else. I think for me, the Simone Bianchi, I'm not a huge fan of his art. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely a different style. You don't see that often. And I'm sure a lot of people actually really enjoy it. For me, particularly, I don't love his style. But, I get what he was going for with including him in this book. Like I said, I don't want to not include him with the murderer's row of great artists he's worked with, Mark Miller, on this book, because he could have easily worked with somebody else on this book. I don't think he's a bad artist. It's just not for me, and I think that definitely deterred from some of my enjoyment of this. But I think, like always with his miniseries that he does, I think he stuck the landing on this ending. I thought that was a pretty enjoyable ending. I liked seeing him show up at the end of the Space Bandits, these two characters. Yeah. We actually talked about the ending of that
before this.
Before this last week, because we were behind on catching up on this one. But it was interesting the way it ended. I like how he chose to do the right thing. Like, he's a bounty hunter, but in the end here, he chose to do the right thing and for the right reasons. And then he became friendly with the kid. And then the kid, he was going to let him go, but he's like, no. He's like, here, what do you think of this? And he showed him a card, and it said, the Sharkey, bounty hunter, and son. And which I really enjoyed. So it kind of was like a nice, endearing ending.
It was.
I think Mark Miller, because some of his books previous to like these last few years in Image were very mean-spirited, I found. I didn't love some of his older work. I think that he's definitely tapped into something a little bit.
His newer stuff.
Yeah.
Hopeful. I'll put like Huck for one.
Yeah.
Such like a good, lighthearted. That, not to say this is lighthearted in any means, it wasn't, but
no,
the ending.
He just knows how to mix it better now. Yeah. A lot of the themes are still hard. I mean, like fucking Magic Order had killing all over the place. It was very violent.
Space Bandits.
But that's what I mean. But
he mixes it in together with some more.
Which I think he didn't have that heart in some of his earlier books that he did. But anyways, so I don't know. I give this a 3.5.
Okay.
I don't want to give it a 3 because I think it's too low, but I definitely don't think it was that great either. So I'll give it a 3.5. It was good.
I actually liked this a little more than you did.
Okay.
And the one thing, so I will agree with you on the art. The only thing I will say is that I think that the artist isn't as consistent. There's some things that I think are really, really great, and then I turn the page and I'm like, huh? Like, where did this come from type of deal. So I just don't think the consistency for me is there, but I was enjoying the art half and half, I guess. I quite liked this issue. I liked I loved the ending, actually. I thought it was so good. Yeah, there's not a lot to say. They split up. He gave him his glasses. That was kind of a touching moment.
Yeah.
Like, he never takes those stupid things off. I gave this a 4.
Okay.
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
So my next one here is Fantastic Four number 16, written by Dan Slott, art by Sean Izaksky. I apologize if I'm butchering that name. So this one here was a little bit better, but it's still not to the point where I was enjoying it before this current arc. I know we had a lot to say the last two because they sucked. This one has started to get a little bit better, where I think some stuff is kind of coming to a head, but I just thought it was weird that the Human Torch and this other chick are somehow supposed to be like destined together, and there was some weird
soulmates.
little like moment way back when where they were doing some experiment, and right at the exact time their souls meshed. I don't know, that kind of got a little bit ridiculous to me. But I did like, my favorite part is the Thing in like the underground, like the underbelly of the world here with all, and then you're finding out, you know, that they're creating basically all of their people to have powers. So they're irradiating everybody. Yeah. And
basically like trying to make their own Fantastic Four, and like the people that we know up on the surface level, or I guess like the people that adapted to this, and the other ones are like kind of the outcasts. They're
failures, so they were the ones that like got all disfigured from the radiation, so that they just shoved them underground, and the Thing fell there. And
so the Thing helps with the monster uprising. First he has to kick their ass, and then he's like, let's do this, guys.
He basically like killed the king, the lone wolf there, and then he became the master of it. So I thought that was kind of badass. I gave this a 3.5. It was good. It's getting better. But yeah, I thought the Thing was the star of the show. Yeah,
I agree. I think the standout storyline of this issue was the Thing's moment with the people trying to say they're not monsters, because, you know, some would consider him a monster, but he's like, well, look, and he showed them his ring. He's like, I'm married to the most beautiful woman on earth. He's like, you think I'm a monster or something like that? And then like basically just trying to get them to kind of stand up for themselves, and basically and then like, let's go, guys, you know, like kind of that. Now it looks like they're gonna try to, you know, take over the city or something now. And, you know, like all great Fantastic Four stories, they're all kind of like a little bit in trouble on their own. They'll learn to come together, and basically as a family. Exactly. You can see it coming, but yeah, no, I'm not a particular fan of this storyline. I think that this is probably one of my least favorite storylines they've done since they started the book off, and I wasn't sure about the book for the first few issues, and I think a lot of people felt that way about Dan Slott's take at the start. But then after the first arc, it was great.
He crushed it.
Yeah, it was great. Like the last 10 issues or so have been really good. But these last couple issues, I can't say that I would say I've loved. I actually give this a 3. I actually give this a little less than you. Yeah, I'm just not loving it, and it's on the point of. You know, like
we just need to get over this arc.
Yeah, and the artist is fine. I mean, he's like your regular comic book artist. He's not very stylistic or anything. He's kind of what you would expect from a book like this, I would say. But it doesn't make it bad. I mean, he's not. It's certainly not bad. It's, you know, very clean line looking and
kind of generic.
Yeah. Anyways, so I give it a 3. Next up, we got 2 issues of Detective Comics, 1014 and 1015. This is both written by Peter Tomasi, art by Doug Mahnke. I like these. You know, I think Dr. Freeze is a underused villain, but whenever they kind of have a good Dr. Freeze story to tell, they're usually pretty solid. And in this one, this continues the story we've talked about on the show before, where he's basically trying to resurrect his wife, and he actually finally, like, out of the because she's frozen, right? Like, if anyone doesn't know, the doctor frees his wife. She almost died of like some disease, and he froze her.
Yeah, I think she got like a cancer.
Yeah, he froze her, and he actually this time found a cure. In light of all this, like, Year of the Villain shit, I guess Lex Luthor helped him in actually...
He had like a serum or something.
Yeah, actually being able to save his wife, and... and then everything's all hunky dory. He gets her out of the ice, unfreezes her, and she's alive again. And at first she's pissed at him, like, why would you do this? This wasn't my choice, blah blah blah. And then they learn to kind of love each other again. And then he kind of starts showing her the ropes of kind of like who he is now as like a super villain. But then she kind of runs away with it, and she actually starts becoming
worse than he is.
Yeah. And she's getting so much joy doing what she's doing as a villain, and he's like, why are you like this? Like,
this isn't the person that I love. This
yeah,
isn't the person that I
yeah.
married.
Like, he wasn't even actually trying to go on as a villain anymore. Actually, in this,
He was just doing a couple of heists.
Right, to
it.
get some money for them so they can live out the rest of their lives. And then
Yeah.
and then he actually has to turn to Batman and actually ask him for help. He's like, listen, like, I only did this for her, and now she's out of control, and I don't know what's going on. He mentions even the fact that Lex gave him this thing. He's like, yeah, I'm sure that's why she's all fucked up now.
Yeah.
Whatever he gave her, like, there's probably strings
Turned her
attached,
whole,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really interesting story. I've actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, I give it a 4. I think I gave it a solid 4, both these issues. I'm really enjoying it. Whether or not I'm hoping they stick the landing with the next issue or two when they actually complete this arc, but when it's all said and done, I think this would be a pretty good Dr. Freeze story. And I also like the fact that even though it's in the midst of this Year of the Villain shit, it's still telling its own story. Like,
yeah, it's not so in the heart of it that you're like,
yeah, like a bit of it has to do with the influence from that event, but it's more about a character study about his wife and Dr. Freeze, if anything, right?
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. I give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I actually gave these a 4 as well. I was actually really enjoying. I haven't read too much with Dr. Freeze really in anything.
Right.
So I thought this was kind of obviously I know who he is and what's wrong with him and stuff, but I've never really read any stories with him too much. So yeah, I've actually been really liking this. I like the whole idea of him trying to do something positive, and for himself, like for selfish reasons, but because he loves his wife and he wants to be with her. And then the fact that it all just goes to shit because of Lex Luthor. And like you said, it's tied into it, but not enough to destroy the story.
Yeah.
So I gave these a 4 as well.
Yeah.
So the next one I have here is On the Chopping Block.
Yeah. Our ongoing segment of trying new things out and trying to see whether or not we're going to stick with them, as well as cut some ongoing things we've been reading from our list that have been kind of slacking.
Like slow to us or anything like that. So this is Fallen Angels #1, written by Brian Hill and artist by Sisman?
I think it's Simon Kradransky, or...
Is that Simon? I got Kradansky, but SZYMON.
Yeah,
I wasn't quite
I'm
sure
not
how to pronounce, but I'll go with Simon.
It's the last of the X-Men books,
#1s to come out,
to roll out as well. We've talked about all of them on the show at this point. This one just came out this past week, and yeah, it's the last of the 6, I think, titles they launched out of the Hickman.
So this one here, I don't know. It didn't click with me. So this one they have, where's our character breakdown here? We have Psylocke, Magneto, Mr. Sinister, Cable, X-23, and Captain Britain. So this one I thought, hold on, that's my fucking mom.
No, it's okay.
So this one here was a little bit different. I found that this issue was quite a bit darker in tone than some of the other ones. I guess we're getting a good mixture out of the 6 of them. So this one has Psylocke, Magneto, Mr. Sinister, Cable, X-23, and Captain Britain. I thought Captain Britain was a dude.
He is.
Oh. Isn't that a woman?
Well, the one that they're probably showing there is the new Captain Britain that we see in Excalibur, who is basically who Psylocke was.
This is where I'm getting confused.
So Psylocke Okay, so Psylocke, see, this is the thing. Excalibur, this is what I was trying to say. I thought maybe you would have been confused by that.
Well, I was fine with that because I just went with it, and then
Yeah.
this is doing something else completely with me.
So Braddock, I forgot her first name.
Yeah.
That's Psylocke, and that's who she is in the other book. But now she's the new Captain Britain.
Okay. I didn't know that there was that merge.
Yeah, but now Psylocke, her Psylocke self, is now off on her own.
So that's split?
Yeah, because, and they refer to it in this issue, the Psylocke thing that happened where she turned Asian was something that happened like in the 90s with Jim Lee joining the book, and they made her like an Asian character.
Okay.
She was never like that before.
Okay.
Okay, so it's almost as like, and I don't know the whole story behind that though, but that's why they kept referring to her as someone else in this, because it's almost as like its own. It's almost like it's another mutant or that merged with her, or maybe it was something that like. Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't know the whole story behind that either, but that's how Psylocke is in this book, and basically the person that was Psylocke is in another book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I really liked Excalibur, and I was getting that, but now this one just blew my mind.
Yeah,
I got
so,
real
like,
confused.
So it's almost as like they weren't ready to let go of the cool-ass fucking, like, Psylocke, like the Asian assassin Psylocke that we know. They
Yeah.
wanted to keep her around, but at the same time, they wanted to go back to Excalibur's roots and use who she really is, like, before they changed
okay.
the character.
Yeah.
So that's why she's kind of present in two different books right now. Essentially,
There's
this
different people.
essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I thought the drug thing was kind of neat. The, like, technological drug called Overclock. That was kind of a cool thing in their little info dump here. They had basically what Overclock does, and then in the middle of that they have little snippets of quotes from people, whether it was like doctors or
Betsy Braddock. Sorry, I had to look up her name because I forgot it.
Betsy
Braddock.
Braddock, yeah.
That's who now is Captain Britain, and yeah, this is her
Okay.
Psylocke form now. Sorry, go on.
That's okay. But yeah, like I thought that was kind of a quick little info dump there on telling us what basically Overclock does and how it basically creates ecstasy in your mind, but it's like a technology.
Right.
But needless to say, I'd say I liked the art in this. I thought the art was good. I give this a 3. I was so lost with this book.
Yeah, I fucking hated this.
Okay.
This is the worst one out of all.
Okay,
the
I
6.
agree because
And
I was like,
it's
I'm
on the chopping block. I'm not picking up
No,
another issue
no.
of this. I like Brian Hill's work enough. I've read some good things by him. He's been kind of a new up and coming writer the last few years. This is not his finest hour, and I fucking hate this artist. I'm surprised
I
you said
actually
you
didn't mind
This
it.
is the guy that keeps infiltrating books that we read. He's the artist that was on Superman Action Comics, who I hate, and he was the guy that was on Punisher that I hate. This guy must be the fastest artist working in comics to be getting these. He's not only is he bouncing
I
around.
didn't mind it in this one, but it was very
because
dark.
it's a darker tone
Yeah.
book. Yeah, so it fits that.
Yeah.
Sure. It sure fits the tone, but I'm
just
not a
didn't
fan
like
of
the
his.
tone.
I don't like. I just didn't like the book.
Yeah.
And I don't like his art.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, something maybe better. Maybe he was better on Punisher. Superman, he was the worst on because
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
why
yeah.
are you drawing this? Action Comics. This is supposed to be a lighter book. Yeah. How can he forget? He just, I think, drew like the last issue. He's writing like fuck. It seems like he's drawing like 3 books at the same time. I don't know what's going. He's either bringing out multiple books at the same time, or he's like finishing up and bouncing right to a next
the
title.
next one,
And then
yeah.
between both companies, I'm like, how good is this fucking guy? Like he's just like, I don't, like really.
Cheap.
I don't know, man. Before this, he was on Spawn for fucking like forever, apparently. Like where no one's seen his art, like because no one reads
Yeah.
fucking Spawn anymore,
No,
really.
like 3 people.
Like 10,000 people, I think they get to read the book or something. I think a month, maybe less,
Oh
but
gosh.
that seems high actually. So yeah, but you know they got their own fans. Anyways, this isn't about fucking Spawn. I don't like this guy's art.
So what did you give it?
I give this a 2.5
Okay.
because the art.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. You know what's weird too? I'm glad you're amused by this. It's been a while since I've just talked shit about a book like this. The worst part about this was I like Magneto. I like X-23. Like I like those characters a
Yeah.
lot. Cable's fine. I love Psylocke. Like
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like so I thought I was gonna like this a lot more. I didn't. No. I mean, if I hear that it's good, I might pick it up in trade. But not only did you have the confusing aspect of getting into this book, because it was at the tail end of everything else. Like, they referenced the fact that Xavier is dead in this. Spoilers, because we didn't talk about it when we talked about X-Force. But yeah. No, by now I'm sure you found out if you're reading this. But he's going to be alive again. It's not like he's dead forever. They have a way to resurrect him.
Yeah.
But they talk about that in this. There's a fucking scene in the dark where it's fucking floating heads talking for like
eyeballs.
4 pages.
Just eyes.
Yeah. It's just you can't do that, man. Like, why are we talking in the shadows like this? Like, I like a good shadowy conversation, but not like for this fucking long.
For 8 pages.
Yeah.
And just eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she literally goes from fucking Magneto to Mr. Sinister and, like, he doesn't get her away with either of them. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I was just lost. Lost, and I didn't like the setup. My favorite moment was probably X-23 talking to Cable, and actually, I would say in this. But, yeah.
There you have it, folks.
There you go. It's gone.
It's been chopped.
Yeah, chopped off the list. This was probably my least favorite of the launch books.
Sure.
I mean,
agree with
that being
That's
said,
why it was last.
yeah, and it's probably the only one we've officially actually said we're not going to continue reading so far, because Excalibur we're giving another shot with the second issue, because you loved it a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
So I picked up. We're going to pick up the second issue. But yeah, no.
This one's a no-go.
No. Okay, next up we got Punisher Soviet #1, a book I was highly anticipating. It's written by Garth Ennis, art by Jason Burrows. This was good. This was really good. When this book came out and I saw it in this week, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be my favorite of the week. I'm just like, because I know I'm just so biased towards the Garth Ennis Punisher's one of my favorite Punisher runs, and not only that, it's one of my favorite characters, and I love him as a writer, and I really like Jason Burrows as an artist. He's kind of newer to Marvel. The last thing he worked on was Moon Knight, which he was awesome on as well. He was like an Avatar artist, which are those like more mature, fucked up content books, crossed and this kind of thing. He's actually the artist who drew that book.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's really good. He's super detailed and a really good artist. So I'm glad now he's getting big 2 work, because I only saw him over doing all the Avatar books for such a long time there. He also drew Neonomicon with Frank with Alan Moore. Yeah,
that was fucked up too. Yeah. I love that book.
Yeah, he's a great artist. So I'm happy. So the Punisher seems like an awesome fit for him, because he draws ultraviolence really well.
Yes.
And his character work is good. So this is a good fit for him. This was good, but it wasn't great. It was a very slow opening, I think, to the miniseries.
Yeah, slow rollout.
Yeah, and I mean, this is under their Max imprint again, so which they rarely ever use unless it's like for a Garth Ennis book, it seems these days. But this is where there's going to be swearing, there's going to be violence more so than like in your regular superhero comic book blood, possibly sex type stuff. So like this is where they kind of they go a little over the top in terms of the content with the Max imprint. Basically, in this, Punisher is tracking down a guy. I guess who's going to be in the Soviet, like he's a Russian guy that he's tracking down that's been going around killing people, making it look like it's the Punisher that's creating these crimes, and he's almost like got almost like a Batman-like detective approach in this kind of, which is a little bit different for Punisher, especially even for the Garth Ennis thing. So I'm interested to see where he's going with this, but he's kind of like, he killed these guys before any of them even grabbed their guns, and he killed them with this gun. Oh, that's very good, very good. Too good. He's like, only person that could do that is possibly me. Yeah. So he's just like, whoa, who is this guy, right? And then by the end of it, he meets up with some dude that I'm guessing is going to be this Soviet guy that he's been searching for. He looks like a Russian. So, Punisher and some Rushkis. So he might. I'm kind of disappointed that it's not Garth Ennis exploring more of the war, like his thoughts on war with the Punisher, like he did with the Nick Fury series and stuff like that. Like I more so like his thoughts on war when he does them, but being back in the Punisher Max world of Garth Ennis is not a bad thing either. Yeah. I gave this a 4. I just because it was a slow opening. It was really good. I almost want to give them 4.5 because of the art, but I'm gonna stick with a 4 on this one.
I'll agree with you on that. I think this is the first time we're agreeing tonight. Is a 4. Yeah, I thought this was good. Again, like you said, it's more of a slower rollout. I like the art a lot. I know that we're expecting a lot of gore and a lot of blood in these, which you did get in this as well. So I am looking forward to seeing what this is, and I actually don't love the war stories as much as you do, so I like that this is
There you go. There you go. There you go.
So my next one here is Superman number 17. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Kevin Maguire. So this one here was kind of a lighter story to it. Basically, you get kind of touching moments with Lois and Superman, and all of a sudden now you're going to... he meets up with Supergirl, and they find out that there is a whole new...
Krypton.
I can't remember that name for some reason tonight. And they meet up with Zod, which I still think is weird because he was supposed to be such a shitty bad guy, and now they're like, hey, Krypton, we're friends again.
After that whole House of L thing in the last arc, now it seems like he's allowing him to live. I don't know.
It's kind of just an odd thing because forever they've been enemies. Sure. But yeah, so I thought it was a good issue, and then he's having the internal kind of monologue in his head that he wants to release his identity to the world, which will be interesting. How many people will be shocked?
Yeah, I don't know how that storyline's gonna go.
I'd give this a 4. I thought it was good.
I gave this a 3.5. It was fine. Yeah, it had some interesting moments and some good build up. Kevin Maguire, an artist that worked on like Justice League, I think International, like a long time ago, is like a fan favorite artist. So it was cool seeing him kind of pop up. He's good at expressions and stuff.
Yeah, I liked all his facial expressions.
That's
why this worked well.
That's what he's known for. Yeah, that's what he's known for, and I'm sure that's probably why he picked it. He's worked with Bendis before, like here and there, but yeah, I did like the moment where he thought of all the Justice League and Aquaman is cleaning water out of his ear. That part made me laugh.
I laughed at that too, actually.
That part made me laugh. Yeah, that's he's very good at expressions and stuff like that of characters. Yeah, so he kind of, this was a good issue for him. Even when like he's speaking to Zod, and like he's thinking she's gonna punch Supergirl in the face. He's like, he's like, all right, because after like she talks shit to him, he's like, all right. He's like, you're my guests, and he like fucks off. Yeah. Anyways, 3.5. I thought it was okay.
That's fair.
I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with this storyline, though. Bendis felt the need to basically let the news leak that they were gonna do this prior to the story coming out.
Did he?
Yeah. So like it was already known before like this came out that this is the direction he was going in.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. Anyways. Next up, we got Black Hammer Justice League number 5. This is the last issue of this mini series. Written by Jeff Lemire, art by Michael Walsh. What's that? For now, yeah. Yeah, this basically just wrapped up the storyline with Mr. Mxyzptlk deciding to say, okay, in light of everything that I did here, I'll go back and switch everything back to normal for you guys. All you got to do is make sure that everyone accepts that they want to go back to their own time. Everyone's gonna have to agree that they want to. Like, if they don't truly want to, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So then, of course, the one problematic person, the only one that probably has it better out of everybody else in this situation is Golden Gale.
Yeah.
As a result of her being an actual
She's actually
adult.
normal again.
Yeah, instead of being a kid. But after some convincing, she agrees to do it, and everything kind of goes back to normal. And they get like a nice little moment towards the end where they're all sitting. They're like, yeah, I'm glad we met, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm glad. The thing that like made her make the right decision was like Abraham was just like, listen, like, like we're heroes. You got to do the right thing here. It's like these people need their heroes as much as ours.
Yeah,
we need to go back to our time.
Ours, yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'll do the right thing. And then at the end there, you got like a little nice moment of them all sitting at a dinner table, which
they're all having dinner together.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
the farm.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And Michael Walsh did a great job throughout this whole series.
Killed it. Yeah,
it's almost as if he got better and better as time went on here. And then the kind of cliffhanger end, which that's why they kind of gave you the end. The question mark there is essentially on the last page you find out that
Mixelplick?
Yeah, it was basically just distracting everybody so he can actually get into Colonel's Weird's time space thing.
Yeah,
like
his weird
whatever it's called,
not hyperspace. I can't
paraspace or some shit like that. I forgot
Parazone.
what Parazone. Yeah, Parazone. Yeah. So basically now this fifth dimensional being is now in
a parazone where he has access
to
all
time and space, essentially.
Yeah.
Like same as he does, but knowing him because he's a fifth dimensional, like he's probably has more power over it because Colonel Weird always has trouble accessing all this shit.
That's why he gets all fucked up.
Right. So yeah. That I hope they revisit it. Yeah, if they revisit it, it'd be cool. If not, I'd be totally fine with that. This was fun. I liked this a lot. I gave this a 5. I mean, I love the art. I thought the ending was good. I really have nothing bad to say about it. So I mean, while it didn't knock my socks off and was
there was no real
it was
wow moment.
Yeah,
it was a
real
fitting ending.
Yeah, it was a fitting ending. It was a real solid one, and for a 5-issue miniseries, I really enjoyed this. So yeah, I have no reason to give it less. So I'm just gonna give it a 5.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
And the cover that we got was great with the Dodsons.
Yeah.
The Dodsons cover is beautiful. But yeah, like you said, they work together. We finally got to see them working with the Justice League. And then they go back and then they're with the other half of the Justice League that's at the farm. They're having their moment. They're drinking wine together. There's the little, quippets about Aquaman.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know if Aquaman's married.
Yeah.
I like that was kind of an ongoing joke.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. I gave this a 5 too. Like you said, there was no real wow moments, but it was a solid issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. To continue with the Jeff Lemire, let's go with Family Tree number 1 on the chopping block. I will already say we're already getting this. So.
Are we?
Oh, yes, we are. I really liked this. Fuck, I gotta stop umming. But, so this one here, who's the artist? Sorry, my bad. Phil Hester, who I also love. So this one, we started off with your basic family, struggling. It's a single mother, 2 kids, gets a call from the school, their son's not doing something right. There's this weird dude at her work that's kind of a little bit sketchy, but nothing really happens of that. They get to the school, her daughter has to wait there, and this other man comes up to her and goes, "Here, you're gonna need this later," and gives her a bag, and she already knows that she's not supposed to speak to strangers, but
yeah,
the whole situation was weird. She's sitting at her brother's school.
Yeah.
They get home and she's scratching her arm, and her mom's going, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "I think I have a rash." And they look, and it's this growth looking thing, and it's looking very tree-ish. And so, needless to say, she's becoming a tree.
Yeah, hence the name Family Tree.
We don't really know why.
It's a branch coming out of her fucking back.
Yeah, out of her butt crack, basically, is a branch.
Yeah.
So she's becoming a weird tree thing, and then this happens so fast. All of a sudden, the entire city has just gone fucking haywire.
Yeah.
And there's these crazy bald guys around that are trying to murder people. And then right at the end, you get the guy that gave her the stuff in the school.
Her grandpa.
Was her grandfather.
Yeah.
So it was just such a weird, intriguing start. I gave this a 5.
Yeah, I didn't give it a 5. It was too much of again, a slow opening for me. I get what you're saying.
Everything happened
right
so
at the end, it
fast.
amped up. I agree. I gave it a 4.5. It was just a little off for me for giving it a 5, just because I needed a little bit more. But yes, I'm totally in, and I did enjoy the issue. I love Phil Hester. I think his art's perfect for this book, by the way. I think his angular kind of unique style, his art,
especially if this is going to be branchy,
right? And this felt very much in line with other tones and themes of other Jeff Lemire's books, kind of sweet toothish with the deformed little world,
just very quirky in their own little
with the deformed
towns.
little girl, as well as maybe what's going on here at the end as well, the post-apocalyptic shit, and then also the family aspect that he brought to Animal Man and things like that.
Everything.
Yeah, So yeah, no, you can definitely. This seems like a very Jeff Lemire book, and these are my favorite type of Jeff Lemire books. And I think, this is going to be something.
Is this an ongoing one?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's ongoing, and that was the other weird thing. This mother, and she was in the supermarket. That dude just fucking ran off. He was actually one of the guys you see at the end.
Yeah,
that's
the
like
bald
running.
dude.
Yeah. There's some weird shit going on here that we don't even know.
I want to reread it because I feel like there's little things that
maybe, or he just kind of was giving you a taste here and that.
Yeah,
because she's like a single mother with the kids. It seems like.
Yeah, and she's a single mother and struggling, and she's trying to pull doubles and.
Yeah. I just like that family aspect of it that he brings to his
He's very
books.
good at it.
Yeah. Anyways, I give it a 4.5. It was a really solid start. I enjoyed it. Next up, we got X-Men number 2. This is written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Laniel Yu. This is continuing the Hickman X-Men. If you guys recall the first issue, I think we both gave it like a 4. It felt like a very, unlike the Powers of X and House of X books, the X-Men book just felt like another kind of X-Men book, like business as usual. Kind of Hickman was just kind of now, after all that crazy setup that he did, was just kind of, letting things kind of fall into place. The most interesting thing I found about that first one was how they had that diagram of all the rooms and how like there was that whole Jean and Cyclops and him were all like together, interconnecting rooms with secret doors. That was amusing, but anyways, in this one, the main storyline in this was Cable. Basically, Cyclops goes with his daughter and son, Cable, which is now a de-aged Cable, and what's her name? Well, now she's going by Prestige, but I believe that was it's Jean's daughter. What the fuck is her name? Rachel Gray. Yeah. She's going by Prestige now. I don't know if that happened before the Hickman stuff or if this is a new thing with Hickman. Anyways, Cyclops, Prestige, and Cable, formerly known as Rachel for Prestige, they basically go to Krakoa, they go to another planet, island off of Krakoa
different island.
Planet. They just came from a planet. That's where that Cyclops house is, the summer house, right? So now he kind of was like, hey, kids, you want to go out with me? We're going to go to investigate this other island that's coming up as some weird occurrences that are happening. And it's beside Krakoa, and let's go investigate.
Archon or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but so they're like, yeah, sure, let's go check it out. So they go down there, and there's like some weird like east of west type fucking creatures on there that they get into. I believe what are they called? Summoners. So they're like these weird, like they look like somebody out of like Hickman's other stuff, like something out of his Avengers or something out of East to West. Like they have symbols. It's a very Hickman like bad guy. So, and someone new. So apparently these things are living on this island, but then you find out that this island, they're like, okay, well, why are we getting these weird readings of things going on over here? Why does it look like your island's coming closer to ours? Like, what's going on? Then you fucking find out that all of a sudden he's like, well, you know of Krakoa where you guys live, right? Well, the Krakoa knows our island, and then the fucking islands meet up and bang it out.
Merge. So
all of a sudden the islands just drift together in the water.
And they have like tentacle things, and they're just like together, and then they just are one. You're like, oh.
They just bang it out.
And then the summoner guy is just like, I live here now.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, I'll be seeing you. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, this island is one now. He's like,
I live here. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
So basically Krakoa just joined with this other fucking island. Yeah. And then they had sex.
What a bizarre thing.
It felt like a very normal issue again until all that shit happened. I was just like, what the fuck? I loved it. I mean, I loved that part of it. That really turned my whole opinion. And then at the end, this summoner goes and finds Apocalypse on the island, and Apocalypse, I guess, well aware of the history of because he's like the most ancient mutant out of all of them here. He knows of all this stuff that went down. Oh, yeah. So now Krakoa, Eric is what it's called. Yeah. So
that was close.
Yeah. So Krakoa and Eric is the other one, but now they're joined as one, the Krakoa and Eric Coral. And so yeah, now essentially they've just almost doubled the size of their landmass and for the mutants, but you have this other group of things on the same island with you now, so already the problems are starting to happen in these books, like but then the Apocalypse, you find out at the end, knows this being, this summoner, and then he's like, "You're all my children." Like he's basically, they're like,
seems so creepy.
and they're like, "There's some weird shit going on here." Anyways,
like, you know how you're the land banged?
Yeah,
I banged. Like, I don't understand.
I give it a 5 though for that whole twist. For me, I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, before I'm like, "Yeah, this is just another regular issue. It's good, but whatever.
Like, this is decent. Moving it along." What the fuck?
All of a sudden islands are converging and banging, and there's weird creatures now living with them.
I gave this a 5 too. Then there was like the summoners are able to like summon these massive creatures, and at one point they were like, who's the other one? Not Prestige.
Cable.
Is that the sun?
Yeah, that's the one that throws the grenades at it.
Yes,
says, hold on to these.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, I still have the taste of it in your mouth." It's like, well, you didn't have to bite it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I see an octopus, I bite it. You're like, well, that's just weird. I had.
He's like, people like me, says the Rachel. He's like,
people like me. It's like, I don't think so. I gave it a 5 too. It was a fucking blast.
It was good.
So we're going to continue on my side with the love of Jeff Lemire and go on to Gideon Falls, which I have gushed about any number of times now with Andrea Sorrentino on art. I really don't have to go there again. This one, you're getting more of the Norton, Danny, same person, doesn't know who he is, with his father.
Yeah.
And the most interesting thing I felt about this issue is that they're actually talking more about the smiley guy. And we don't really have a name for him. They really just call him like the smiley person or Smiles or something, don't they?
I don't know if that's what they call him, but yeah, the smiling man, maybe.
Something like that, yeah. I don't think they called him Smiley, but you know what I mean. Basically, he like puked cockroaches into this other person's mouth.
Yeah.
Wow. The fucking art is so good, but it makes me want to puke. And now that's, at least we've learned now how it...
He's jumping bodies now on our world, world. Like, he's now come out of the barn.
Yeah, he's out of the barn. He's living in our world.
Yes.
In the era that has Norton, Danny...
Yeah,
because I know we're jumping a little bit too. So it's in Norton/Danny's world because he doesn't know who the fuck he is right now.
Yeah,
with his dad. You have the woman that he was with and the father in this other friggin' land with their cardinal, looking at all of the times on a different TV screens, which is fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
So they're all on a different plane, and then Danny and his dad finally escape, and now they have to gather the plowmen. And I'm intrigued.
Yep.
And it's a 5.
Yeah, I also gave it a 5. I think that the series is now really giving us a lot of answers slowly, and the stakes have risen now from just being a creepy build of a story to like shit's going down now.
And people are gonna die.
Yeah, so I give it a 5 for that reason. I thought this was a really, really solid issue of this series. A lot of things happen in this and are going on. Yeah. Okay, and last off, we got Batman Universe number 5. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Nick Darrington. I love this issue. I mean, I love this series, but I loved this issue. This was great. Basically, in this one, at the start, you leave off from when he was back in like Western times with Jonah Hex. He got shot at the end. You think he's dead. He thinks he's dead. Vandal Savage ran off, and then basically he's like, oh no, I'm gonna die in the same alley that my parents did. And then what's his name, Alfred, finds him and like rescues him, and he turns out he ends up surviving.
I
But
love
then,
Alfred's little mask.
yeah, and then like Green Lantern, he had to get back into communication with him and figure out, like, you know, if he survived because he was separated from him when they were back in time in the old Western era, and he had to like listen to his transmission. And then after that, Dick Grayson shows up. Enter Dick Grayson fucking Batman team up, which was awesome. And then you go into like one of those crazy page spreads where they're like fighting through 3 different levels of this building, and
Yeah.
Nick Darrington just shines. And then they finally make it to Vandal Savage, and you find out that the egg is like a White Lantern ring inside of the egg. And Batman had figured it out, but he didn't tell us as readers up to this point. But when Vandal Savage, he confronts him, and he has the egg, and and it's like hovering there. He says something. He basically says the
I
oath
have no
of the Green
fear.
Lantern.
Well, no, he started by saying, I'm not afraid of you. I
Yeah.
have no fear.
Yeah.
And then he starts saying the Green Lantern
Oath,
or the
yeah.
Lantern Oath.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's fucking this crazy White Lantern.
Yeah, which was awesome. And then like he basically takes down Vandal Savage, but then at the end, the Green Lantern Corps in full shows up to take him down, because they're like, yeah, you
You're
need
a
to
threat.
surrender
This is-
immediately.
yeah.
You're a threat, to the point where at the end it's just so powerful that it fucking like ignites and like blows up, and then Batman is just somewhere we don't even know at the
No,
end.
he's
like,
in
ends
some
up-
weird extra zone or whatever.
I can't remember in particular the lines, but the dialogue is so fucking good in this
Yeah.
book. Bendis is firing on all cylinders on this book. Like, he is in prime form. I mean, I've said it before on this book, and I don't know why it's different from some of the other things he's writing. But I mean, because he wrote this before everything he's writing now currently, like the
Yeah.
Superman and the Batman that we read
Because
in
it's
like
out of continuity
event-
too, so you can just go buck wild.
that may be why he was kind of like,
You
yeah,
get more free
yeah.
reign. You don't have to think of everything.
Well, that's the
else
thing. Dick
and-
Grayson is not even Dick Grayson at this point in the books, but he is in this. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, so maybe that's why he's like, I'm going to have fun with this.
Yeah,
And just, wait.
you just enjoy telling a story.
Plus, these issues weren't even in the direct market at first. They were at Walmart, right?
Yeah.
So, and now they're being collected and put out in the direct market. So, yeah, for whatever reason, though, whatever the reason, the jokes are spot on in this. The dialogue is fantastic and fun. The art is just so good. I gave this a 5, obviously. I love
No.
this. I love this series though as a whole. Like, there's only one more issue to go. I'm gonna be sad.
That's sad.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
be
know
sad.
that.
Yeah, it's a 6-issue mini for,
Oh.
and so I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this
Yeah.
too. I always have a lot more fun with this one than the Superman one.
Yeah.
I don't find the Superman one as strong.
At times it's good. I mean, I still love his Superman, and at times it's been fun as well. But I think that
This has a better grasp
Yes.
on everything.
Yeah.
It's a better story in my mind.
yes,
Yeah, this was fucking awesome. I loved this as well. I thought once the White Lantern thing just really shocked me. I did not expect that. And he has like this crazy opalescent cape now.
yeah.
I want that. I would wear that.
So what'd you give it?
A 5.
Okay.
The last book of the evening, we have Jason Aaron and Dennis Hallam, Sea of Stars. This is issue number
Art
5.
by Dennis Hallam's a co-writer.
Yeah, sorry. And art by Stephen Green. My apologies. It's written by Jason Aaron, Dennis Hallam. Art by Stephen Green. I will get to know these things eventually. I probably won't, though. I loved this. So finally, we finally got dad and son on the same planet, in the same area. And I thought that was so cool. And this kid basically now is part of this ritual that is to get the
Basically,
Bat.
the ancient artifact that's inside of him.
what
We
is
don't
it?
really know what it is.
It's a club. Sorry.
Yeah.
The club, I was trying to call it a bat.
Yeah.
Out from him, and they're trying to say that there's, a ritual that they're able to extract it from him, but really it's just going to kill the kid. And the woman that was with him this whole time is now second guessing this whole ritual, even though, she worked all this way to get there.
Right.
His 2 other friends, the whale and the monkey, they are captured, and the father ends up, saving them, and the monkey's sitting there going, I recognize you, but they can't understand each other. So they're just kind of like mapping at each other and talking nonsense, but somehow they worked it all out that they've helped each other. And because the father saw his son's helmet
Right.
there, so they kind of knew that at least he's in the right spot.
Right.
And then you fucking find out that this Quasaro person's dead, and now the fucking Devil King is there, and this is some epically massive tentacled whale squid is coming into space. I'm in awe of this. I love it so much. I gave it a 5.
Yeah, you've always loved this book more than I
do.
have. I mean, I almost wish this was on the chopping block because I was ready to read this in trade originally.
Oh, I thought right now. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, we're continuing with it at this point. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Back when we first started, I was like, I could read this in trade. But yeah, you loved it. It really speaks to a lot of the themes you enjoy. I think this book more so. So I respect the fact that. But yeah, no, I also think it's good. I gave this a 4.5. I thought this was a really solid issue as well.
I thought you'd be happy that the father finally made it.
I am.
Well, they haven't seen each other yet.
Yeah, and I like the interaction between everybody in this. I also like that the woman that basically brought that kid changed her mind when she found out that he was going to get sacrificed. She's like, no, there's got to be another way. Like, I'm not letting you kill this kid. Like,
he's just a child.
Even though she believes in this shit too, and she since she brought the kid to them, they were going to let her off the hook. Like, apparently, like, she was like
she was like outcast.
From the society,
so
and then like the shaman, like the head shaman guy was gonna be like, okay, well, like if you better stop pushing it because then I'll like change my mind and
all her penalties would be wiped.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, no, there has to be another way. I'm not letting you kill this child in front of me. And the fact that now everything's kind of just coming to a head in this, I really enjoyed it, and I think the art's really fun too, and the colors are big.
Oh, I love the colors in it.
By Rico Renzi. Yeah, so I give it a 4.5. It's a good book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite?
Let's see here. I think Batman Universe.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Black Hammer, like Justice League, as I stated, was good. I didn't feel giving it any less than a 5 was right, but I didn't think it was like, a huge standout. It was just a real solid ending. X-Men, same thing. I thought it was just good until like that crazy moment, which was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was Gideon Falls. Yeah, great issue of Gideon Falls, but I don't think I feel it's contender. So yeah, Batman Universe again. It's because when it clicks for me, I have the most fun with the book. The art is top notch. And it gave me the most laughs. So, and it was another real solid issue. And I haven't given it my favorite of the week to this every single time it's come out, for the record. I think I've given it maybe 3 out of 5 though, probably. But it is a real, like, it's a book I really enjoy every time it comes out. So, yeah.
So I don't think I can do Black Hammer. I don't think I can do Family Tree. No. I'm doing a process of elimination right now because I'm stuck. I enjoyed these.
It's gonna be hard for you.
Gideon Falls I won't, because I think I've given a lot. I really liked it, but I really enjoyed some of these more. It could be between Batman Universe and Sea of Stars. I know X-Men was really, really fun. Yeah. And that whole weird sex islands thing was bizarre, but I almost want to give it to it just for that, because I was like, creative.
Yeah. Yeah. No, believe me, I was just like, I didn't think of that until, like, I wouldn't have put it in contention until that moment.
Yeah. I was like, that was so good. And it was memorable.
Yeah. It was.
I gotta fucking agree with you. I'm gonna go with Batman Universe.
Ha! Oh, shit. I thought you were going to give it a Sea of Stars.
I know. I did too, but I was like, but I did have a lot of fun. And the ending to that was so shocking to me.
It's great. It's the penultimate issue.
Yeah,
Come
like
on
it
now.
actually, I was, what? So, yeah, for that reaction alone,
there
I
you
gotta
go.
with it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Finally, Christine has agreed with me on this show. It followed suit. That's our favorite of the week, guys. Batman Universe number 5. Real fun series, but some great contenders this week.
Oh,
round.
yeah.
And
We had a slow start.
and some real stinkers, I was going to say.
We had kind of a slow start on this one.
Yeah,
we ended strong.
Good mix is
It
good.
is,
Yeah. All right, guys. So you'll probably hear from us again in a few days if we put out our next episode on time for Monday like you normally hear it. This one will be up on Thursday. Thanks again for tuning in, as always, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks so much.